gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
3 people, including an 11-year-old girl's father, remain in jail this morning after the girl was shot and killed in Miami. Police say the girl's father, his girlfriend, and the girl's grandmother were all charged with aggravated manslaughter.
Wow. The girl's father, his girlfriend, and the grandmother. This is wild. And this is a family dispute that ended up taking the life of a young, innocent, little black girl. We need to come out and bring out the Black Girl Magic Brigade. We need to come out and bring out the Protect Black Women movement, BLM. All of these people need to be front and center on stories like this, because this type of stuff is happening over and over again in the community. I'm also going to cover a young, I think it was a young boy that was shot and killed in Chicago last weekend, where 100 people were shot. So, man, it's getting sick out here. It's getting wicked in the community. These super gremlins are on demon time.
That shooting happened Tuesday on Northwest 17th Street. This is near Wynwood. The grandmother told police she was in another room with the girl's father, and they heard a loud bang from the kid's bedroom. That's when they found the girl bleeding from a gunshot wound to the chest. She was rushed to the hospital, where she later died.
Also now at 5, the death this week of a young girl in an accidental shooting has renewed concern about unattended weapons and children. This is only the latest incident that resulted in injury or death. And 7's Jessica Holly is in Miami now with words of warning from officials. Jessica.
Words of warning from police and from a heartbroken mother. Her little girl is gone because children had access to a loaded gun.
It's important. Keep those guns and safes away from children. You don't want to experience this tragedy.
Another young life lost after police say a loaded gun was left around children.
Dang.
The mother of 11-year-old Taliyah Clarke leaving balloons steps from where the shooting happened.
It's just so sad that this happened to her.
Taliyah's name added to a list of children injured and killed in South Florida in the past several months in what police describe as accidental shootings.
Yeah, and we have a lot of negligence going on in the community. It's crazy that you don't have your weapons locked up if you have children in the house. Kind of seems like common sense, but there is a culture of always having that thing on you and da-da-da. But at the same time, if you're going to do that, you have to educate your kids on firearm safety at a young age. So it's just crazy that we see these incidents happen over and over again, and the neglect that happens in the home.
Let's take a look back. In September of last year, a 3-year-old girl accidentally shot herself in the hand in southwest Miami-Dade after a loaded gun was left on a sofa. That same month, 10-year-old Melvin Cockcroft died after getting his hands on his father's gun.
13-year-old male shot.
This year, 13-year-old George Harris Jr. died in Miami Gardens. Police say he and friends were playing with a gun.
12-year-old child that shot himself.
A 12-year-old boy in Homestead was accidentally shot in the head. He survived.
Damn.
A 3-year-old boy shot in Homestead, hit in the foot after finding his mother's gun. And a 4-year-old boy in North Miami shot himself in the head after finding his father's gun.
That's wild.
That was in May. He's still in the hospital. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, unintentional injury is a leading cause of death among U.S. children and adolescents aged 0 to 17 years, and firearms are a leading injury method.
This is just a tragedy that we've seen in the past. We don't want to see anymore.
But we keep seeing it. Police say there is a way to prevent this kind of tragedy.
And this is really pronounced in the community. I mean, it looks like the father, I mean, just putting the gun on the couch like that is crazy. Obviously, this isn't the same instance, but I mean, what are we doing? You over here on a laptop and your kid is running to get the strap.
From happening in your home.
If you have a firearm in your home, make sure you have it secured somewhere away from children or anyone that doesn't know what they're doing with a firearm. And a message for kids, if they see a firearm anywhere, call 911, report it to an adult.
And if you don't lock up your gun and keep it away from children, you could end up in jail. In the case of Taliyah Clarke, her father, her father's girlfriend, and her grandmother, they are all in jail charged with manslaughter. Meanwhile, there is a GoFundMe page to help Taliyah's mother with funeral expenses. If you would like to pitch in, we do have a link on our website. Just go to WSVN.com. We are live in Miami's Overtown section. Jessica Hawley, 7 News.
A teen tragedy. Multiple arrests now made in a deadly shooting that took the life of an 11-year-old girl inside of her own home.
2 of those arrests, the teen's own father and grandmother.
And Local 10's Christian De La Rosa joining us live now from outside the jail in Miami. And Christian, we understand you spoke to the girl's mother today.
Difficult to describe what this mother is going through, especially as we're learning it may in fact have been the little girl's brother who pulled the trigger.
Taliyah, she was a butterfly, beautiful.
Chantrell Manning, still visibly in a state of shock, wanted to tell us about her little girl.
She just had like pure soul, such a sweetheart, sweet, sweet baby.
11-year-old Taliyah Clarke was killed when a gun went off inside her father's apartment home in Miami Tuesday. He rushed her to the hospital where she died. Now, 3 adults are in jail for her death.
All 3 of those adults count as caretakers under the statute.
40-year-old Titato Clarke, his mother, 59-year-old Charlene Ann Webster, and his romantic partner, 43-year-old Nancy Severe.
Damn, I mean, that's a rough bunch right there.
Nancy
Lord have mercy. That's his romantic partner. Jesus Christ. And the grandmother. Wow, I mean, I got a lot of questions. Whose gun was it? Who was it registered under? Is it a stolen strap? Okay. What's going on with this situation? But, whew, this is a rough bunch. It is a rough bunch. I mean, my guy, you got to let the dreads go. At this point, you're bald, bro. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Clarke, his mother, 59, and his romantic partner, 43-year-old Nancy Severe. Police say they were in the home when the gun fired.
One child firing the gun, shooting the other, who then died as a result of that.
My baby needs justice. At the end of the day, somebody has to own up to this. I just want all parents to, hold their children tight, keep them close. Say that you love them. Always remind them that you love them and just appreciate the time you have with them. Because you just never know when that time is up.
Heartbreaking, doesn't even begin to describe what this mother is going through. There is also a fundraiser underway to help her pay for her daughter's funeral. If you'd like to pitch in, the link is on our website, local10.com. Live in West Miami-Dade, I'm Christian De La Rosa, Local 10 News.
Family and community filled with grief tonight after an 11-year-old girl was shot and killed inside her home.
Yeah, the 3 people now jailed in connection with her death. The girl's father, her grandmother, and the father's girlfriend.
Kim Nguyen is live outside the jail tonight where the suspects are being held. Kim.
Yeah, that's right. And all 3 suspects are being charged with manslaughter. Their lawyer argued that they did not know a gun was inside the home. A young life cut short, now being remembered with each balloon and teddy bear sitting steps away from where 11-year-old Taliyah Clarke was shot and killed. One neighbor recalling the image of the girl after she was hurt.
The next thing we know, her father bring her out and she was bleeding. We don't know what she was bleeding from, but the blood was all over her.
3 people have been charged in connection with the shooting. 2 of them family members. The girl's father, Clarke, grandmother Charlene Webster, and the father's girlfriend, Nancy Sevier, appeared in bond court charged with manslaughter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Clarke.
The shooting happened Tuesday afternoon inside this apartment in Overtown on Northwest 2nd Avenue and Northwest 17th Street. According to police reports, the father and grandmother claimed Taliyah was in her room with her 9-year-old brother when they heard a loud pop come from the room. They went in and saw that she had been shot in the chest. They rushed her to the hospital where she died.
Damn. And guys, I mean, you just have to know where your firearms are. It's that simple, and they should be held accountable. But man, you know, you just wish that this young girl didn't have to lose her life to teach these idiots a lesson.
This is a horribly tragic situation.
The state argued that the 9-year-old brother was the shooter and that all 3 suspects were negligent.
They were all residing at the time.
The 9-year-old brother was the shooter. Whew. Now that's cold. That is a twist that I did not see coming. Like, when I saw this story, when I saw the headline at first, I'm thinking, oh, well, they got in an argument. They got the hook and they got the fighting. Buddy pulled the strap. And then, you know, everybody, I don't know. But he just started firing off. It went through the wall and hit the young girl. But the 9-year-old brother is the shooter. These super toddler gremlins are on demon time.
And it is clear willful negligence to fail to protect a 9-year-old from getting access to a firearm, much less a loaded firearm.
The defense fired back, saying that none of them knew that there was a gun inside the home.
There's no information that's been brought to your honor with regard to how the gun entered into the home. We don't know if the 9-year-old brought it into the home, the 11-year-old brought it into the home.
NBC6 saw the girl's mother leaving the hospital Wednesday, but she didn't speak with reporters. And all 3 suspects are being held with no bond. For now, we're reporting live at TGK. Kim Wynn, NBC6 News.
Kim, thank you for that live report.
Right now at noon, police making arrests after the deadly shooting of an 11-year-old girl. This happened at an apartment building in Miami. And these 3 people you see here, the child's father, grandmother, and another woman, are all facing charges in connection with this child tragedy. Local.
And think about what that 9-year-old has to deal with. I mean, this is perplexing.
10 News reporter Hannah Yeshivi is live. She's at the scene with all the new details released today in this case. Hannah?
Christy, we have also now learned the 11-year-old girl has died from that gunshot wound to her chest. And as you just mentioned, 3 people have also been arrested regarding this incident. 11-year-old Taliyan Clarke was rushed to the hospital around noon yesterday by her father after police reports say the girl was with her brother in a room inside their house when they heard a loud pop sound. As soon as family members went to check the room, they found the 11-year-old shot.
In the room was her brother, 8 years old. He was in the room with her when they heard the bang.
At Holtz Children's Hospital, the girl received surgery, but later died from that gunshot wound.
Have made 3 arrests in this case: the grandmother, the father, and the father's girlfriend.
Those are Tato Hatsati Clarke, Charlene Ann Webster, and Nancy Sevier, all 3 facing charges of aggravated manslaughter.
Just a huge tragedy. Anytime a person loses their life, let alone a child, in this fashion, I mean, just has us really concerned.
During the investigation, a detective found 1 gun inside of the child's room. All of this as the next-door neighbor woke up to the news that the 11-year-old did not make it. She says she had just seen the girl yesterday morning.
I was sitting on my front porch, and the little girl come and spoke to me just as plain as day, on her little brother. Said, "How you doing, ma'am?" And I was so happy to see them like I do every morning.
Neighbor Gina Saivilian says she was home and did not hear the shot.
Next thing we know, she was in the father's arm and bleeding so badly.
Now neighbor Gina and others will hold on to those memories.
You know what I'm gonna remember? Her smiles and her walk. She's so beautiful.
Wow.
We also want to point out that the father has a very lengthy criminal history. We're live in Miami.
Woo! So yeah, he going down. He's going down.
Hannah Yashigi, Local 10 News.
Tonight at 11, we're getting a look at the little girl shot and killed in Miami. Her grieving mother is asking for justice after her 11-year-old daughter's life was tragically cut short.
The child's father, her grandmother, and the father's girlfriend are all in jail tonight in connection to the deadly shooting. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana.
And I'm Elliot Rodriguez. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister joins us from the jail where the suspects are in custody tonight.
The victim's mother tells me her daughter, 11-year-old Taliyah Clarke, was shot and killed while staying with her father. And according to police, the father has a lengthy criminal history.
She was a butterfly, beautiful, very inspiring. She just had like pure soul, such a sweetheart, sweet, sweet baby.
When Chantrell Manning talks about her daughter, 11-year-old Taliyah Clarke, she remembers her as a loving, innocent child.
She lights up the room. She just was like the all-around girl. It's just so sad that, you know, she's no longer here with us.
Around noon on Tuesday, police received a call about a shooting at an apartment complex on Northwest 2nd Avenue and Northwest 17th Street in Overtown. According to police, Taliyah was staying with her dad, 40-year-old Tato Clarke, his mother, 59-year-old Charlene Ann Webster, and his girlfriend, 43-year-old Nancy Sevier, when she was shot while in a bedroom with her 9-year-old brother. Clarke rushed his daughter to Jackson Memorial Hospital, but it was too late.
There were two children allegedly alone in a bedroom, one child firing the gun, shooting the other, who then died as a result of that wound. All three of those adults count as caretakers under the statute.
According to the statute the judge mentioned, Clarke, Webster, and Sevier are all considered caregivers under Florida law and were all arrested and charged with manslaughter. Sevier, Clarke's girlfriend, claimed in court she had no knowledge that weapons were inside of the house.
Ms. Sevier apparently indicated to the police for the arrest form that she had no knowledge that there was a gun in the house.
When police searched the home, they found a gun on top of a dog cage wrapped in a blanket. Now is Taliyah's...
That's wild. So this guy has a criminal record. He's not supposed to be in possession of a firearm. Grandma was there, and she's saying she didn't know there was a gun in the building. She was nervous too in court. You know she finna tell everything she know. But they're all being charged with negligent homicides or negligent manslaughter. So I'm just worried for obviously the little girl who was killed, and then the 9-year-old who was said to be the shooter or is argued to be the shooter. If that is the case, I mean, who is that young man gonna grow up to be? Sheesh.
Father, grandmother, and his girlfriend sit behind bars. Her mother is planning a funeral and pleading for answers as to why this happened to her innocent daughter.
I don't feel like everyone is responsible. I just feel like they should have been more attentive and be more attentive to the children.
And according to police, Taliyah's father has 12 previous felony convictions. And again, all three of the suspects are being held without bond. For now, reporting from TGK, Anna McAllister, CBS News, Miami.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
And good evening. Off the top at 6 tonight, police making several arrests in the shooting of an 11-year-old girl in Miami. As we learn who allegedly pulled the trigger, the child was reportedly shot by her own sibling.
And now members of her family are under arrest. Local 10's Leanne Morajon is live with more on this terrible tragedy. Leanne.
Some of that new information coming to us after all three suspects appeared before a bond court judge. I want you to take a look, though, at the photo on your screen. This is Taliyah Clarke, just 11 years old. She lost her life in this shooting. And now we've learned her own little brother, just 9 years old, pulled the trigger.
She's going to be held no bond.
Miami police arrested 3 adults in connection to the shooting of an 11-year-old girl inside a Miami apartment.
Wow.
The victim, identified as Taliyah Clarke, died from a gunshot wound to the chest.
We received different stories as if they were coached. And when we asked Ms. Severe what happened...
I'd object to speculation.
The child's father, Taliyah Clarke, his mother, Charlene Webster, and his girlfriend, Nancy Severe, are each charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child.
All 3 of those adults count as caretakers under the statute.
Police got a 911 call around noon Tuesday stating the child had been shot and was being rushed to the hospital by her father.
Next thing we know, she was in the father's arm and bleeding so badly.
Police.
I mean, at least they didn't try and hide it and cover it up, and they immediately took her to, you know, get medical assistance, but the damage is already done.
Say the girl and her 9-year-old brother were alone in their room when a gun went off.
The grandmother come out, she started screaming, say someone had shot in the window and thing, but the officers come, they didn't see anything of that. They see the shell in the floor in the house.
The state saying today that the victim was shot.
So they tried to cap and say someone shot through the window? Oh, Lord.
Were alone in their room when a gun went off.
The grandmother come out, she started screaming, say someone had shot in the window.
So the grandma tried to, oh, okay, so they did try to cover it up. Damn. Oh, man. Grandma? See? Now, look what these grand ninjas, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we talk about the grandmas, we talk about the grand ninjas. It looks like a grand ninja shot his 11-year-old sister dead, and then grandma come and try and cover it up. That's crazy. This is crazy work out here, guys. The community is on fire right now. These super gremlins are on demon time.
And thing, but the officers come, they didn't see anything of that. They see the shell in the floor in the house.
The state saying today that the victim was shot by her sibling.
One child firing the gun, shooting the other, who then died as a result of that wound.
Police say they...
Oh, yeah, she nervous as hell. Look at her rocking back and forth. Lord have mercy. All 350 pounds.
Firing the gun, shooting the other, who then died as a result of that wound.
Police say they found a gun wrapped in a scarf and blanket in the child's room. A pool of blood still on the floor. While police won't say who the gun belonged to, the arrest form states Taliyah Clarke has an extensive criminal history. Nancy Severe has a prior conviction for child abuse. Her public defender argued in court that she had no knowledge of any weapons in the home.
She did not place the firearm in the house. She did not know the firearm was even in the house.
And while we still don't know who the gun belonged to, it was revealed today during Severe's bond court hearing that she had once broken up with the co-defendant, Taliyah Clarke, because of his use of firearms. In fact, one detective testified that she told an officer on the scene that he was known to hide firearms at places that he would frequent.
So that's crazy. He was hiding a strap here and there. Like he was in the Wild Wild West, and he's looking over his shoulder. Buddy probably knee deep in the streets, and it resulted in his little girl being killed by her little brother on accident, of course. But wow, tragic.
At this point, all 3 suspects are being held without bond. We're live in Miami. I'm Leanne Morajon, Local 10 News.
Just so awful. Thank you, Leanne.
Turning now to a child tragedy after an 11-year-old girl was fatally shot with 3 people, including the child's father and grandmother, now facing charges. Local 10 News reporter Hannah Yashivi is live outside the jail in West Miami-Dade with reaction from the little girl's mother. Hannah.
Janice, the very latest is that all 3 adults charged with manslaughter in this case have been ordered by a judge to stay away from one of the children that the father has. All of this as we're learning that allegedly it was the 9-year-old brother who pulled the trigger, killing 11-year-old Taliyah Clarke. Here's what the mother...
She walks in the room, she lights up the room. She just was like the all-around girl. It's just so sad that, you know, she's no longer here with us.
This was 11-year-old Taliyah Clarke. Her life cut short after she was shot this past Tuesday. Rushed to the hospital, but she didn't make it. Her mother, Chantrell Manning, is in disbelief.
She just had like pure soul, such a sweetheart, sweet, sweet baby.
The incident happening inside the children's room of her father's house to Tato Clarke, who has now been charged with aggravated manslaughter.
Ms. Webster has been arrested for 1 count of aggravated manslaughter on a child under the age of 18.
Charlene Webster is the father's mother. She, along with the father's girlfriend, Nancy Sevier, were all charged and present at the time of the shooting.
All 3 of those adults count as caretakers under the statute.
The state saying in court the 11-year-old girl was shot by her young brother. Police records explained they were alone in the room when a loud pop sound went off.
One child firing the gun, shooting the other, who then died as a result of that.
We also want to point out the father has a lengthy criminal history. He has been detained in the past more than 10 times.
Well, I mean, it looks like he didn't always have a receding hairline, but hey, when you wear your braids that tight, your hairline is not going to be... It's going to be non-existent by the time you're in your older age. So, but yeah, my man, God, he got mugshots for days. And these are the guys who are ending up reproducing. This man got 2 kids. A black woman gave this man 2 kids. That's crazy.
My baby needs justice. At the end of the day, somebody has to own up to it.
Now a memorial grows for Taliyah with balloons, stuffed animals, and flowers.
I just want all parents to, you know, hold their children tight, keep them close. Tell that you love them. You know, always remind them that you love them and just appreciate the time you have with them because you just never know when that time is up.
Police officers have yet to say who was the owner of that gun. We know the next court appearance for the 3 adults is set for the 23rd of this month, which is in a little more than a week. But in the meantime, a fundraiser has been set up to cover for funeral expenses for 11-year-old Taliyah Clarke. If you would like to help with that GoFundMe page, you can find it on our Local10.com website and mobile app. We're live in Miami. Hannah Yashivi, Local 10 News.
Just a heartbreaking story.
3 people are waking up in jail this morning charged in a shooting that killed an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah, the girl's mother speaking to CBS Miami and asking for justice. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner. She joins us live now from West Miami-Dade now with more on what she had to say. Morgan?
Yeah, the 3 people in custody, including the girl's father, are not the ones that officials say officially pulled the trigger. But the judge says they were all considered caretakers at the time it happened.
At just 11 years old, Chantrell Manning said her daughter, Taliyan, was shot and killed Tuesday.
She was a butterfly, beautiful, very inspiring. She just had like pure soul. Such a sweetheart, sweet, sweet baby.
Police received a call about a shooting at an apartment complex on Northwest 2nd Avenue and Northwest 17th Street in Overtown. According to police, Taliyan was staying with her dad, 40-year-old Tato Clarke, his mother, 59-year-old Charlene Ann Webster, and his girlfriend, 43-year-old Nancy Sevier, when she was shot while in a bedroom with her 9-year-old brother. Clarke rushed his daughter to Jackson Memorial Hospital, but it was too late. The judge said all 3 were considered caretakers.
There were 2 children allegedly alone in a bedroom. One child firing the gun, shooting the other, who then died as a result of that wound. All 3 of those adults count as caretakers under the statute.
When police searched the home, they found a gun on top of a dog cage wrapped in a blanket. Taliyan's mother wants more answers.
I don't feel like everyone is responsible. I just feel like they should have been more attentive and be more attentive to the children.
All three adults are being held without bond.
In court, the dad's girlfriend said she had no knowledge that there was even a gun in the apartment. The dad has 12 prior felony convictions. I'm live at TGK, Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.